Good morning, everybody. Crafting Journey here, that Journey Chick on Instagram. Welcome to Crafting and Crime Daily. Lots to cover today because there's a new trial starting today on Long Crime Network, which I want to cover for you, but I'm still in the middle of this other trial. So we're gonna work this out. I haven't figured out how, but we're gonna work it out, so that I can bring you the rest of Joshua Aide and the new trial as well. The new trial is South Carolina, a case out of South Carolina, and kidnapping, murder, all the intrigue. Yeah, okay, so let's get started on the good ship Lollipop. Why am I singing that? You're gonna find out. Gosh, I wonder if that's copyrighted. Probably. But I sing so horribly that they never figure it out. They never say anything. They're like, what is she singing? Yes. So yesterday, I did this section here. Like the sky. And then I started over in here. I was listening to the trial and I wanted to finish the testimony that I was listening to, so I just kept going until the testimony ended. So, but I want to start a different section today. I like to move around sometimes. That's just me. Like, I'd like to, let's do some of the mouse, shall we? Let's just do some of the mouse. Do 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 do. Well, these are not the drills that I got out, so let's put these away and get out some of the correct drills. J, I need J, which would be in the bottom one here. What I do when I have my kits kit up on these larger paintings, all of mine are larger paintings, I usually put the alphanumeric symbols, because I paint by symbols, not numbers. I put the alphanumeric symbols in one container, and then all of the other symbols in the other container. See, now this is a B. This should go into here. Now I need J. Where's J? This is J. That makes it a little bit easier to find down the line. Yeah. What other symbol? This one right here. Yep. That's just the way I diamond paint. But everybody has their own way. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. I actually got that tip from Rachel Ray a long time ago, and I just loved that idea. So we're gonna work on Mr. Mouse. I think that might be his eye there. I'm not sure. Let's see, hold on. We'll take this release paper up if we can. No, it's kind of buried here. No, wait a minute. Here, I can get it up. Is that his eye? Yep, there's his eyes. We might have to do something with the eyes. No, we can't, because this is these are these small rounds. Okay, we'll just go with it, because these small rounds are very, very sparkly. Yeah. The other one that I did in small rounds, I don't know if you can, here, let me see if I can show you. The Cheshire Cat back there, that was done in small rounds. Same artist, Anthony Christou. Yeah, small rounds, Treasure Studios art. Okay. Well, let's have some coffee before we start. Hocus pocus, I need coffee to focus. Yes, that's a stitch along, cross stitch along that I'm going to be doing. If you're interested, let me know. I'll invite you to the Facebook group that's that we put together for that stitch along. I think it starts in August. Yeah, soon. And the pattern is in the Just Stitch Magazine 2021 Halloween special edition, which you Even if you're subscribed to Just Stitch, you have to go out and buy it. It does not come with your subscription, unfortunately. So, yeah, so let me know. And if you're having trouble finding the pattern, let me know that as well. We can help you out. And it's not like a real big pattern. It's small. You know, just it says Hocus Pocus, I need coffee to focus, and then there's some spider web stuff going on there. I need to lift this up just a little. Sometimes I don't quite make the lines. Okay. So nothing major, but and it'll be fun. I always say that. No, have I ever lied to you? No. So I guess there was some confusion about the mystery diamond painting, because I had said probably we'd start 1st of August. We're going to go ahead and start. If you've got yours, get it out, kit it up, get started. Let's get going. If you don't have yours yet, it's okay. This runs through the end of August. You have plenty of time. But make sure you post your progress in the Crafting Journey Facebook group. Yeah, because what I like to do is every now and then I'll do a collage, and I'll put it on my Sunday show, my live, and I'll show what everybody's doing, and it's kind of cool because we all kind of try to guess what it is that we're seeing. Now that we're using other companies, more well-known companies, sometimes it's easier to guess. Mine's going to be hard because mine is an ever moment. And no, I did not work on that yesterday because I'll work on that Friday during Mickey's live and try to get a section done then, and then a section done on Sunday. It'll be something I work on during my live with Mickey and Mickey's live with me on Sunday. Man, I'm tired. Cat's got me up early again, but I've been going to bed early. I was reading my book last night. Oh, it's gotten so good. So I'm at the part now where it's about this witch who wants to have more than one consort. You know what I mean? 4 to be exact, maybe even 5. But last night while I was reading, she told them what her plan was, that she wanted all 4 of them. And they were like, not against it. And she's like, just think about it. So they're all thinking about it. Yeah, some more than others. What's going on, baby girl? What kittens are among us? They're here. There's Stitch. Oh my goodness. Last night, I was laying in bed reading. Stitch was there, all curled up next to Mommy. Tootsie was there, all curled up next to Mommy. I could not find Pearl. Now I'm panicking because I'm looking in all the usual places, can't find her. I'm thinking, oh dear God, did she get outside? Did she dash out the door and I didn't see it when I let Tootsie in or out? And I'm like, oh, where is she? And the last place I remember seeing her was in here in the craft room. So I come in the craft room, and I know she loves this dinosaur that's over here. So I look over there, and she's asleep on the floor underneath the dinosaur. She loves that dinosaur. Sound asleep. So then she saw me, and she's like, oh, Mommy. So she follows me to bed. But I am finding it very difficult to get much done in the way of cross stitch or loom knitting because they want to help. And last night I would loom knit for a little while, and then if I saw them coming, I'd hide everything under the covers real fast. So they didn't see. Well, they saw what I was doing with it, but once I hid it, they went away. And then when they went away, I'd get it back out again, work on it for a little while. Here they come, I'd put it back under the covers. And yes, I was in bed because I could put heat on my back in the bed. And Yes, my back is still really hurting. I spoke to the insurance company yesterday. Yes, they are going to pay for someone to come help me around the house. They don't pay very much, I gotta tell you. Um, like for an hour here and there, like run the vacuum, clean here and there, just to help me through till my back heals. They were they were like happy to do it. I'm like, oh, okay. Um, yeah, and then I mentioned that I'm going to ask the physical therapist also for a back brace. So um, I've got to call the physical therapy office today and get some more appointments because I don't have any more appointments. Because he said he wanted to see me like 8 times. So, and I hope that does it. I do. He wants me to go to the Y and go swimming. So I'm going to take my suit with me on Wednesday and go swimming. I have like a late afternoon meeting with the big boss. No big deal, but like I'm not in the doghouse or anything. Thank God. Someone else is, but not me. Someone's got some splaining to do. Doesn't that feel good when you go into a meeting with the big boss and you're not the one in trouble? Yay. Okay. Anywho, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, it's like she's got all the bills, she's paying all the bills. Now, this is my insurance company. So, and of course, they're going for everything because they're going to just ask the other insurance company to reimburse them, which I'm okay. But the other thing I'm thinking about doing is hiring an attorney because I'm going to want some pain and suffering out of this. It's been a very difficult time. I've been in a lot of pain, headaches. Like my back feels like it's just going to break in half. Yeah, so I feel like I should be compensated, So I'll either do it myself or hire an attorney. I don't know. I could probably do it myself, Anyway. Thank you, Cheryl. I owe that come to Jesus talk to Cheryl, who just said, listen, you're doing too much. You need to get help. And so I'm reaching out to get help. Now, enough about that. Back to this really good book. I'm just kidding. But man, the other day in my live, like Robin suggested, Robin loves reading and all the things. She has an interesting channel if you want to tune into her. I mean, a shout out to Robin. She does book reviews. She does puzzles. She does diamond painting. She does kind of a mixture of all the things. But a lot of what she does, and she does them for free. She does book reviews. She can read. I think she says she's listened or read 40 books this month, in the month of July. 40 books. I'm lucky if I get through one. So she suggested a series, so I put it on my wish list, and yeah. What's the name of the series? Let me find it, because you're gonna ask me, and hold on, I'll tell you. I put it on my wish list. I'm in pain right now. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I tell you, it's ridiculous. And I want to make an appointment with my own doctor because I think I'm getting ringworm. Yes. Well, I'm putting some stuff on it, like some athlete foot stuff that's supposed to kill fungus, but yeah. I don't know if I should be taking something medicinally. I don't know. I don't know. Where is my wish list? Wish list? Like, where does that go? Your wish list? I know I have a wish list somewhere. Home. Let's try home. Oh, from your wish list. Okay. Oh, it's a series by Karen Rose, and the first one is Say You're Sorry. I think it's called the Sacramento series. Yeah, Sacramento series. So, a serial killer terrorizing the women of Sacramento meets his match in this pulse-pounding novel from New York Times best-selling author Karen Rose. There's a serial killer on the loose preying on vulnerable women. The only identifiable mark the killer leaves are letters, sometimes one, sometimes two, all carved into the torsos of his victim. Together they spell Sydney. That sounds interesting. If I feel like I've read this before, maybe not. Um, so next time I have a credit, I'm going to buy that. I'll have a credit. Actually, in a few days, I'll have a credit. But I'm still trying to get through the Bridgerton series. I'm on. I went back and wanted to finish the one with Benedict. I hadn't finished the Benedict one, and he's the second brother. I hadn't finished him. I finished Eloise, so then the next one after that would be. It's the F. Felicity, I don't know, whatever, the daughter who starts with the letter F. That's the next one, which is it this one? Which one is it? Let me go to my library. I have so many books. So many books. Francesca, that's her name. I knew it was something with an F. Francesca. So, I have jibber jabber for 17 minutes. Oh my God, guys. So, what national day is it? It's National Lollipop Day. That's why I was singing on the good ship Lollipop. Shirley Temple, remember that? Oh my God. Oh, many of you probably do not remember that. But that's okay. On the good ship Lollipop, it's a sweet trip to the candy shop, where bonbons play on the sunny blah 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 blah. I don't know the rest. Okay. Lollipops. So it was named after this guy who invented lollipops. Well, first of all, lollipops have been around forever. They were used to preserve herbs and stuff. They would mix with honey, and they were used to preserve nuts and berries. And then, because sugar was very plentiful back in the 16th century, then they were started becoming medicinal in form. They would put medicine into the lollipops. That sounds cool. I know once upon a time you could get fentanyl in a lollipop form. Was it fentanyl? Yeah, I think. I don't know if they still do that. Lollipops range in size. I mean, you get them big old swirly ones that are just really difficult to handle. Yeah, that's a mess. Don't give a kid that. My favorite are Tootsie Rolls, because you have to. How many licks does it take to get to the chewy center of the Tootsie Roll? And I used to count, but yeah, those are my favorite. Oh man, I want to get some Tootsie Rolls. I love those. I'm not a fan of a hard candy to begin with, because when I was a young child, I had a hard candy in my mouth, and I was very young, and I choked, and I couldn't breathe, and I threw myself up against a tree, and it dislodged whatever it was, and I was okay, but it scared the heck out of me, and ever since I've just had this aversion to hard candy. Lollipops are okay. I like those big ones that you can get at the checkout at Walmart that come in all the flavors. There's a bubble gum flavor, pina colada, all these different flavors. Those are kind of cool too. Then you can buy them by the bag full, but some of the other things that made lollipops famous: the Wizard of Oz, the Lollipop Guild. We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild. And in the name of the Lollipop Guild, we'd like to welcome you to Munchkin Land. Okay. Where they welcome Dorothy to the land of Oz. Yes. So, and Kojak. I never watched Kojak. He always had a lollipop. This detective. He was always, had a lollipop in his cheek. That was 73 through 78. I was in high school then. I wasn't watching. The only thing I watched television-wise during high school was General Hospital. I would come home every day from high school, and put on General Hospital every single day. That was Luke and Laura, all that, way back when. Yeah. So that's the only thing I watched in high school. So National Lollipop Day. We represent the lollipop queue. Oh, I'm in a mood today. So let's talk about Joshua Aide, because we want to get this trial over with so we can start the next one. Because the next one is live. And I do like to cover the live trials. All right. So we get testimony from the first officer on the scene. Let me just recap this very quick. This is Joshua Aide. He is accused of murdering the father of his ex-girlfriend, Rebecca Barkowski. Rebecca was shot and survived, shot in the head and survived. The guy that she hired to work on her vehicle, who was present on the scene, was shot in the head and survived. So 2 attempted murders, 1 murder. Yeah. So the first officer on the scene said his goal was to get Rebecca medical treatment. He didn't know if the shooter was still on the scene. He could not tell where she was injured. She didn't know where she was injured. She was in and out of consciousness. She was answering questions appropriately. She knew who, she said who did it. It was Joshua Aide. Josh Aide. He says, we need to get you to medical treatment. So he's walking her away from the scene, which earlier in the trial the judge had made fun of, what not to do. But I think they were concerned that the shooter was still on the scene. So they walked her, like several houses down. And meanwhile, like they're having to practically carry this woman. They don't know she's shot in the head. They're lifting up her shirt and trying to see where she's injured. Now, of course, this guy goes back now in hindsight and says, yes, we looked to see if she had a gun at the same time we lifted her shirt to see where she was injured. He kind of has to say that. But she didn't have a gun on her. And at no time did she toss a weapon somewhere. Now, I think the defense's theory is that she did have a weapon, or she was going for a weapon, or, that somehow she drew a weapon on Josh first. Based on the testimony that I heard yesterday and the cross-examination I heard, I believe the defense's theory is that the 2 men on the scene, the guy that was hired to, he wasn't hired, but he was a friend of the father. The father and his friend come to fix the vehicle. The defense's theory is that they came to kill Joshua. The plan was that they were going to kill Joshua if he showed up there. So, so this officer said, he never found a weapon. He never saw her throw a weapon. He stayed where the entire time, all the way in the ambulance to the hospital. Never saw a weapon. Never saw her try to get rid of a weapon. There was a great deal of argument about a video that they wanted to show with some hearsay. Apparently a nurse took a phone call from Rebecca's mother, the wife of the deceased man on the scene, saying something to the effect that these 2 men were on their way to Oshkosh to kill Josh. But because it was an officer saying he heard it from a nurse who heard it from a, like, hearsay upon hearsay, the judge says, oh, no, we're not letting that in. No. So, of course, the defense was not happy about that. So Now, Josh leaves the scene in his red truck, and somehow on social media it gets out that this has happened. I don't know how, but this friend of Josh, another Marine Corps coworker, same rank as Josh, sees this social media, calls Josh and says, "You're in the news. What's going on?" And Josh is like, "What do you mean I'm in the news? I'm on my way home from work. What do you mean I'm in the news?" And so this guy tried to get Josh to talk some more, and Josh was not going to have it. So he hangs up, and this guy calls the police. So now the police in Oshkosh notify the police in Montecito, where Josh lives, and he's on his, he said he's on his way home from work. His home is in Montecito, which is about 2.5 hours away from the crime scene. So the Montecito police are asked to apprehend this guy for questioning as a suspect in this murder. So next we get the Montecito police sergeant, who has body cam, so we get to see this takedown. It's pretty cool. So what we see is that they show Josh pulling into his driveway. All of a sudden he's surrounded by police cars. They're telling him, "Josh, get out of the vehicle, we want to help you, just open the door slowly, get out with your hands up." And it takes him a little while. They have to repeat it several times. Once he gets out of the vehicle, he's very unsteady on his feet. It looked to me like he had been drinking or something. So then they tell him to turn around and walk backwards towards the sergeant's voice, which he does. I thought, dear God, this guy's going to fall over. He walks backwards, and then when he gets to a certain spot, they say, "Get on your knees. Keep your hands above your head. Get on your knees," which he does, at which time they approach him. They take him down to the ground, handcuff him, search him. He's got a revolver in his front pocket. They get that off of them. They're very lucky they didn't get shot. My God. And then they put him in the back of the vehicle, and they tell him, he's like, "What am I being arrested for? You're at my home. What's going on?" And they're like, you're wanted for questioning in an event that occurred in Oshkosh, and the Oshkosh police are on their way to interview you, and he's like, what am I being detained for? And he doesn't know, and they are not telling him. You'll find out. So I'm surprised he doesn't know. You just killed somebody. Okay. Then they put on this aunt, Miss Morgano, and she testifies that, another big issue in this case is this missing gun. So the police, during their search following the event, the shootings, get a search warrant to search Rebecca's home where this occurred. So they search her home. They find 4 weapons in 4 different areas of the house. One weapon they did not find. They didn't know what they were looking for. They were just searching. So they find these 4 weapons. They think they found everything. And there's body cam footage of them passing where this other weapon is. It's on a rocking chair beneath a blanket, between a pillow and a blanket, in this pouch. And you can see the pouch sticking out through the body cam, and it never gets disturbed while they're doing this search. They put on this witness, Ms. Morgano, who testifies that she was the aunt, Rebecca's aunt, and following the shooting, she goes to the hospital, and then just to be nice, she goes to her house the next day and cleans up the blood out of the garage. She does say she has to go into the house to get the cleaning products, and then she comes back the following day, so 2 days later, and she's looking for Rebecca's wallet. She wants to bring Rebecca her wallet, and she sees this pouch sticking out from the chair, so she puts her hand in thinking that it's going to be a wallet, and it's a gun. So she does notify the police and says, I found an additional gun. But this is a huge big deal because the defense is making it sound like someone put that gun there. Like somehow this woman who was in the hospital for 5 days, walks out of the hospital and hides her gun in the house. I don't know. It makes no sense. I don't know what the big deal is about this gun, except I don't know. And the police are clearly saying, listen, this was our mistake. We didn't search well enough. We should have found it. We missed it. It happens. So that is the end of the testimony for that I listened to. That is on day 2 of this trial. So I'm going to try to, fast forward it so we can get this done. I'm going to watch the new trial today. Like I said, it's a case out of South Carolina, kidnapping and a murder. It's going to be interesting. And it is a live trial on the Law and Crime Network if you want to watch along as I narrate. And certainly if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. If something occurs that you don't understand, do not hesitate to ask. Yes. If you are new to my channel, one of the reasons I do cover live trials is because I was a litigator. I was a trial attorney for 15 years. I did not do criminal, but I enjoy criminal. I did criminal for during my internship. I did an internship as a criminal defense attorney. And I did some criminal when I had my own practice, very little, because it's very difficult to collect money from criminal clients. Anyway, so that's Judge, Jury, and Journey today. Let's do this day in history. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Where do you think I'm going with that? Yep. This was the day. Oh, Bezos is getting ready to take off in his rocket. We got to go watch that. Yes. So, this day in history, 1969, I think. 68, 69. I'm guessing, but let's see if I'm right. That's Neil Armstrong walks on the moon. What year was it? Oh, 69! I was right! I was 9 years old. At 10:56 p.m., Neil Armstrong walks on the moon. He takes that first step onto the moon. Now, this was very historical. These trips to the moon cost this country billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. But JFK, he kicked this off. He was more concerned with the race to the moon. He wanted to beat the Soviet Union in getting there. And the Soviet Union knew that they were behind the 8 ball, so they were keeping their plan to walk on the moon very hush-hush. But, and unfortunately, JFK gets assassinated before he sees the fruition of his push to get a man on the moon. But it does happen. Wow. So, all total, 3 astronauts. 2 of them walked on the moon, including Edwin Aldrin Jr. and Michael Collins, who was aboard. Yep. And they were in the lunar module Eagle, who was manned by Armstrong and Aldrin, separated from the command module where Collins remained. 2 hours later, the Eagle began its descent to the lunar surface. At 4:18 p.m., the craft touched down on the southwestern edge of the Sea of Tranquility. Armstrong immediately radioed to Mission Control in Houston, Texas, a famous message: "The Eagle has landed." Yep. And then at 10:39 p.m., 5 hours later, he got out and he walked on the moon. Now, Interesting fact about the moon. The astronauts said it had like it was a very like a clingy material, like it clung to their clothes, so that when they would get back into the module and they were back in airlock, it had this really weird odor to it, like something that had been like a burned, like the odor you smell after fireworks, you know, that kind of an odor. And they jarred it up and, you know, and brought it back to Earth. And once the jars were open, the odor would dissipate. So nobody ever smelled this but the astronauts. Interesting, right? And yeah, so they came back to Earth and landed in the water safely. Yes, they spent $24 billion, which in today's dollars would be close to $100 billion. $100 billion. Yeah. Anyway. Man on the moon. Anyway, that is the show for today. It is Tuesday. What's going on Tuesday? I'm gonna go into my friend's Animal Crossing Zoo later tonight, because that's always a fun thing to do on Tuesday night. I've got to work from home today. Got some phone calls to make, some bills to pay, diamond painting to do. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow in the morning show.